Welcome to the Prosperity Podcast, where we highlight entrepreneurs and small business owners throughout Miami-Dade County who are driving innovation throughout our community.
Yes, in celebration of National Small Business Month, we are proud to feature several of MD's grant alumni, business owners whose journeys have been immensely impacted.
I am Jacqueline Davis Austin, the Economic Development Manager with Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust.
And I'm Ms. Latoya Bird. I'm the Business Expansion Specialist. And today we're going to be focusing on entrepreneurship, business growth, and the impact that MD has supported small businesses here in Miami-Dade County. First, in this first session, I'm really excited to introduce one of the grant alumni, Miss Amanda Nykel. Right? Did I get that right?
You did. Yay.
She's the owner of Jewelry One of a Kind, and we're excited to have her here, and we welcome you to the Prosperity Podcast.
Thank you for joining us so that we can help celebrate your entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you. And it's so awesome to be here and to celebrate with you in real life on this podcast. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Amanda, tell us a little bit about Jewelry One of a Kind and what inspired you to start your business.
Absolutely. So I am the founder, and this is not my first rodeo. So I have been in wholesale, retail, e-commerce. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. And I had my first jewelry company. I was wholesaling to 45 stores in New York, LA, and Japan. And then the recession, 2008, me and 7 million other people, I closed that business. So this is a reinvention and a redo of my first jewelry company as an entrepreneur, and I've completely reinvented the way in which the conversation around jewelry, especially the economics. So I've introduced. So we operate direct to consumer, which is online sales, and then we also operate through wholesale partnerships with boutiques and museum stores. That's literally how I first started, and museum shops. And then we do hospitality programming. So what I do is I turn jewelry into revenue generation for hotels, as well as museums, as well as community organizations. And that is a little bit different from what other jewelry, when you think of a jewelry company, you don't think of, wait a minute, that's a little different.
You don't think of empowerment. You don't think of economic.
You don't think that. Yeah, absolutely. So it was very clear. It was really important to me, for my own personal experience. The jewelry is beautiful, but the economic aspect of it is really the foundation, which I find is revolutionary. Mm-hmm. So I'm a survivor. I work with survivors, and they're here in Miami. So when you're purchasing from Jewelry One of a Kind, the paycheck is literally going to a woman's pocket here in Miami-Dade County.
Wow.
And I pay a living wage.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's dynamic.
It is dynamic. And the economics also is in sharing with the experience of jewelry because of the 3 pillars that I just mentioned. Bringing in community, bringing in new guests to your hotel, and a new experience to your guests, an elevated experience to your guests. So I really thought very long and hard about how I could change the economics, change the community and the feeling around a purchase.
Mm-hmm. Like conscious commerce.
Yeah. Oh, that's I love that. I want to write that down.
We don't do enough of that, but
no,
I hear that in the way that you're describing your passion, and your skill, and you being thoughtful of others. So
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Conscious commerce. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's like a whole new tagline that I want to have.
You can use that hashtag.
Yeah. I think like Miami is really one of the few cities where hospitality, art, culture, and entrepreneurship, it all collides naturally. And I I consider myself 305 adjacent. I've been coming down here since I was 21.
Okay.
I've been living here on and off since I was 21. So I can't.
You earned the title.
Well, I don't know. I can't really claim it. I know anybody that's like born and bred in Miami is like, sweetheart, you are not from Miami. But what I do love about this community, and especially like being here with you guys on this podcast, is we really lift each other up, and we are all about small business and how can we help each other. And I honestly feel that what I'm doing with it's not that I feel it. It was a conscious, it was conscious in me building this company to make sure that it wasn't just building, creating a jewelry company that makes more stuff.
Right. You were being intentional.
I was being very intentional about the economics of it.
How we even know each other.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
MD, for those of you that don't know, Jackie and myself, we are part of the economic development team, and we are really prized with designing the grant programming. So, Amanda had the opportunity to apply for one of our grants, right?
Yeah.
Which year did you apply?
I think it was last summer, wasn't it?
Last
Yeah,
summer.
it was last summer.
Last summer.
Gosh, it seems like ages ago.
So with that being said, what was it like for you applying for a grant? And had you ever applied for a grant prior to the MD grant?
Yeah, I had applied for a grant before, and I actually won 2 grants last summer. And then last summer was actually gangbusters for me in terms of the community rallying around me, because I also showed up. I really did the legwork, and did a lot of the research. I also, so what it was like for me, because I also have a nonprofit background, and so I had written grants for other nonprofits. So I had the experience. I had the career experience. I didn't have the personal experience. So it was a great foundation, and you guys are really helpful. The experience for me, going to you did a lot of video help for us, and then I had a mentor that walked me through it. So like the original grant that I did was super boring, like written out like a nonprofit does, right? And she's like, oh my gosh, you can make this so much more dynamic. It needs to have visuals. I'm like, really? I can do that? She's like, you have to. So I was able to put my creative aspect into it. So that part was amazing. So I had help with someone who, and why am I forgetting her name? Oh my God.
Was it one of our technical assistance partners?
Yeah, tell me.
79th Street Corridor?
No, it was a woman, and she was amazing.
We have a couple.
I know, I'm having like...
Ariel.
Were you online?
No, it was an
grants for
Ariel.
you?
No.
You went in person?
It was a transfer. No, we did it all online because I'm on the beach.
Maybe it was Nana. Maybe it
Was Miss Mallory?
Was it Miss Mallory?
Miss Mallory?
Yes. Shouts out to Miss
Mallory.
Mallory.
And I'm so sorry. I'm having one of those, like, I have the worst memory.
She would totally forgive you. She helped so many.
I love you so much. I'm sorry.
She helped so many of our...
She did. You were amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And so how has the grant, been able to help you scale and help you continue like your mission and what it is that you do in your business?
So I think the really important part of it was to be, for me, was I had an outline of what I wanted to accomplish. And what I learned from having many businesses in the past, as well as having a very, I've had a lot of different careers. I've had, was that I needed to make sure that the money was going to be used strategically. And so what the grant did was help me with the foundation of the nuts and bolts. I actually was able to build a website around it. And also, this is a good story. Okay. So I was able to design a logo. And the logo is, I don't know if we want to do a close-up. So this ring is my first ring that I ever designed. And it's one piece that is tied in a knot. And it got me into the Museum of Modern Art design store in Soho, New York.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it was an aha moment. It took about a year and a half for me to get that. And that was my first major account. And that was back in 2001. And I knew that I wanted this to be my logo. I am not a graphic designer. And so I was so excited to get the grant because I knew that I could have, my logo. And so my logo is literally, you can see, it's the ring.
Okay.
Well, you can't see it in the stamp that well, but you see in the stamp how that's the ring.
Yes, I do see it now.
Yeah. So, so it's the ring, and then it's our J&K, which is jewelry one of a kind. And so I was able to do that with being able to hire a graphic designer.
So not only were you able to accomplish a long-term marketing goal, you also buckled down and kind of gave your business some of the nuts and bolts that it needed.
Not the nuts and bolts. If you don't have the foundation, like if you don't have what your brand vision is, as well as I was able to, the immediate need of my business, which was building the website.
The website.
Yeah.
That's right.
So the website and my logo were the most important things.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I transferred it from originally we started on Etsy.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was intentional as well.
A lot of artisans like yourself, they do, because it's an easier platform. It's user friendly. But I think it's
not user friendly.
I think it gives people a springboard.
Yeah.
So that's why you wanted to have an official website, because you didn't want to be on those platforms.
So my history is I have been an entrepreneur and I have been a business person for decades. And I called up one of my friends who's a CTO. We were mentors at the engineering school. This is so funny. The engineering school at Princeton at the E-Lab. And I was a mentor. I did the sales and marketing for 5 years as a mentor with these students from Princeton. And one of the women that I met at a cocktail party said, "Oh, you should come." And I thought, I'm a jewelry designer. And she's like, "No, you created one of the first e-commerce websites in 2001 before that was even something that people said. And kids are not going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, and we need them to know that. And you did e-commerce, you did wholesale, you did retail, you marketed it before social media, and you were in 45 stores in New York, LA, and Japan. You need to be there and mentor our students." So the intentionality behind Etsy, because I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Was to do the research and to see which products worked. What people were interested in, and to find out just the background of what it's like. And also, I don't have to build anything. I can just put it up there. It's all done. Their platform isn't that user-friendly, I don't think. I'm not insulting
Or maybe
Etsy.
for the user, maybe not so much for the merchant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, but it was intentional. But I am not a arts and crafts small person in that.
In that capacity.
In that capacity, I'm a founder who has a website, who has 4 pillars, who does, I mean, I do white label and I've done thousands of units for fashion lines, in LA. And that's easily manufacturable. And that's something that we do.
Pause for a moment.
Yeah.
I think more founders, more business owners, more entrepreneurs needs to take that posture in their business and the value that they bring.
Thank you.
Through their products, through their service. And I know our time is running out. However, I do want to transition and allow Jackie to kind of set the tone for what it's like for you and working with us from a Grant alumni perspective.
I think that Amanda's product was very unique, and her story about how the product was created and her brand was exceptional. Something that you said today also resonated with me. You said that you pay your employees a living wage. A lot of business owners don't know what a living wage is, and the fact that you know that and that you take that into consideration is extraordinary as a business owner. So I commend you for that.
Thank you. It comes from personal experience. And it also comes from we live in one of the most expensive cities in the United States. And if I'm going to be making a product, I want the mostly women that work for me, but I want the people that work for me and the small businesses that I work with to be paid well, just like me, because it's not easy to do what we do. And it's also rather than donating to a cause to help people, you're purchasing something and it's beautiful, it's extremely well made, and I am not like a business that's wanting to do something for the shareholders or do something for the business in a I can't think of the word, but just in a larger sense. We're here as a small community, and my ultimate dream is to just have the most fantastic benefits for all the people. Right now I'm all 1099, but ultimately I'm continuing to think about how I can just have a very sustainable, because that's what sustainability is about. It's not just about recycling.
Right.
It's about making sure all aspects of your business. And for me, it's really the economics are the foundation of it.
And I think that's one of the things that, I know that's one of the things that we aim to do with the businesses who have earned their spot as a grantee.
Yeah.
And we want to see that type of impact that you guys are making. And so as we begin to wrap up, tell me a little bit of your experience of being a grant alumni. What has that been like for you?
So it has been, I'm the kind of person that doesn't have a problem meeting and talking to other people. And I am no longer, like I said, I'm 305 adjacent. I didn't grow up here. And so I'm part of a larger community. And when I say, oh yeah, MD, I didn't know what you guys were before I, applied for the grant, but I'd heard about you through other things that I was doing within the community. So the more, I just encourage everybody to jump into the pool. Don't sit poolside. And that's how I felt. I've been introduced to so many more other opportunities there's so much going on here in Miami-Dade through MD, through Scale Up, through the Idea Center, through MDC, through Strive 305, through Eileen Higgins, through Mayor Cava. And because of sitting on a Zoom call and listening to my fellows who have also been awarded, and it could be an accountant. Like, just because they're not in my business doesn't mean I'm not going to learn something.
Right.
So that's really, I'm hoping that answers the question.
Oh, you hit it on the mark.
Yeah, you did. You did. And the fact that we hear that you get value from our grant alumni meetups is exactly what we want back. Yeah. We're hoping that time with you that we spend one-on-one, providing insight, providing resources, that it really benefits your business, even if it's not directly in what your commodity may be.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
Yeah, it is. I think so I'll tell you one thing. I went to a tech conference. I'm a jewelry designer. I went to a tech conference at Emerge, right? The Medina family has the most incredible do it. Mm-hmm. The man that I went to hear, his name is Tim Tebow. I'm not a sports person, but I'm sure everyone's like, hello, we know who Tim Tebow is. And he was talking about his experience supporting, as an advocate, survivors and sex trafficking at a tech conference. People got up and left, but a lot of people stayed. And he's like, I am talking about this issue because this is where the money is and this is where the technology is to help. So he was in a room. I'm going to get back to my point. He was in a room talking to people that normally wouldn't have this conversation. And my point being is, it doesn't matter. Like, show up just because it's not your industry. I feel like that's what builds community.
Mm-hmm. You never know.
You have no idea.
You're going to meet. You don't know who you're supposed to be of service to. Mm-hmm. You don't know who's going to influence you
and learn
or
from.
Inspire you or what you're going to learn.
Yeah.
So, awesome. I'm great to hear that. And the last question, and sometimes I have fun with this question. It's not in the script.
Oh no.
It's off script.
Oh no.
And I want to know, where would Jewelry One of a Kind be in 100 years?
So we are a museum quality collectible jewelry house. And so in 100 years, you know, for instance, this piece of jewelry was my grandmother's, and she put a hole in it and wore it around her neck. And then I set a diamond inside of it. This is an industrial diamond, and put it in the collection. And that's about 70 years. So in 100 years, someone's going to be talking about one of the pieces of jewelry, like, oh yeah, you know, I got this because she made it. It was her first piece. She had gone to Africa. She saw the elephant hair jewelry. She started creating a collection. She got into MoMA. She lost her business. And now she's in a whole new, you know, did a whole new creative way of thinking about jewelry and purchasing it and jewelry experiences. And so, yeah, in 100 years, someone's going to still be wearing the jewelry, and they'll have a story to tell about it, their experience through my experience and my storytelling.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And we're rocking some jewelry.
Yeah, we're all
some
rocking
custom,
jewelry.
some custom jewelry.
Yeah, thank you.
But one of a kind. So
Can I make a
thank you
plug?
so much. Sure,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. So I think the most important thing is, you know, because we're here and we're community, I can be found. I've actually started recently writing a lot on Substack. So Jewelry One of a Kind is on Substack if you want to hear the stories behind Jewelry One of a Kind. And then we're also on Instagram. And of course, you can find us at www.jewelryoneofakind. And we'll be in local stores as well. And stay tuned on Instagram if you want to come to one of our experiences, or just DM us or email us or send us smoke signals if you want to hire us for one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
joining us and
Yeah.
sharing your story with us. We
I
really
love it.
appreciate that. And thank you to everyone tuning in to the MD Prosperity Podcast as we celebrate National Small Business Month and continue highlighting the success of our grant alumni community.